guys, it's Lori the Frugal Mom. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight I'm going to be making a quick, healthy stir fry using some ground chicken, very lean ground chicken that I got from the food pantry. And I'm also going to be using some ginger that I have frozen in my freezer. This is the best way to keep ginger when you buy it fresh because it'll last pretty much infinity. So we've got that. I'm going to use a yellow squash, and this is something to do when your peppers aren't looking too good, when they're starting to look wrinkly. I'm going to use one red, or you could use any color, bell pepper. I'm going to take 2 of these larger carrots. I'm going to julienne them. I'm going to use some garlic, of course, and some scallions, probably the rest of these, and some broccoli florets that I'm going to cut up small. And I'm also going to chop up some cauliflower as well because I have a head that needs to be used in the refrigerator. This is a very customizable recipe. They call it a stir fry in some corners. I'm not really sure if that's what it's going to be because it uses a little bit of oil. So I guess technically it could be, and it is on high heat, but it's not done in a wok. So I'm going to prep my vegetables. I'm going to brown my ground chicken, and then I will be back. So here I am browning my ground chicken. This is a really good lean ground chicken. As you see, there's literally no fat coming out of it. It's made from all white meat, so that's a great thing. I like to layer my seasonings as I cook, so I have put a little bit of garlic powder in here, and that will give it a nice flavor all the way through. And that's my cat and my sister in the background talking. So I am going to finish browning this, and then I'm going to prep some of my vegetables and get them started. Okay, so what I have done is I have taken my browned ground chicken and I have taken it out of the pot. There wasn't anything to drain or blot, and so I could retain the flavor of that chicken in my skillet. Move over my apron. I don't have it quite so tight. Anyway, sorry. I left the little bits of brown chicken in there that were, and I just added 2 turns of oil. Any oil that you want to use that you have on hand is fine. I use canola oil because that's what I have. But like I said, you could use anything. And I have my chopped up green scallions, and I'll show you that in a minute. I have 2 bunches in there, the white parts included. I stopped when I got to about here, and I'm going to try to regrow scallions or spring onions from this. Let's see if I'm successful. And I have 2 heaping tablespoons of garlic, and I am in the process of grating my frozen ginger with my microplane. Microplane is the easiest way to do this. It grates very easily when it's frozen. When it's not frozen, it kind of strings up. It gets caught in the microplane. If you don't have a microplane, you can use a hand grater, a box grater, you know, the little fine side. These are not expensive. I've had this one for about 20 years. I think it was $10 when it was new. I don't think they're much more than that now. So I am going to continue to grate, and then I'll show you what happens with it. Let me just see if I can move the phone real quick so I can show you. Okay guys, don't try this at home. I don't have my oven or my stovetop on, so that's why I'm doing it. So you can use the microplane at any angle that you like. What happens is most of what you're going to grate is going to end up on the inside, and then what I like to do, I can either take my finger, or if it's in the corners of the microplane, I will take a butter knife and I will scrape it out. So I've already done a piece of ginger, so I just wanted to add to it, so I'm going to put this to the side. I'm not going to throw this little bit out. I'll put it back in the freezer. Ginger can tend to be a little expensive, so we don't want to waste it. If you don't have ginger, you can use dried ginger. That's okay too. You guys know what I always say, just use what you've got. You probably would want to use maybe a teaspoon. I wouldn't go any more than that because you don't want to overpower the dish with the ginger. But you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of scraping that all out of there. I'm doing it from the front as well. We want to use all that yummy ginger goodness and infuse the dish with all of that flavor. Ginger and garlic is one of my favorites. Okay, so I've got all of it there. I'm just going to put my microplant to the side, and I'm going to show you how it looks in the pot. All right, so again, this is a large nonstick skillet, and I've got everything in here. We're basically going to saute in the oil until it gets very fragrant, probably about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to add my 2 medium-sized julienne carrots. I want to add the carrots first because they take a little longer to cook. So in this little bowl, I have half a cup of soy sauce. I have 4 tablespoons of good organic honey. If you don't have organic honey, use anything you've got. That's the soy sauce I use, just plain old Great Value, whatever you've got, less sodium. I've got 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar and 4 tablespoons of water. And then I like to usually use sesame oil, but I ran out last time I made something Asian inspired. So I'm just going to use a little bit of canola oil. It only calls for 2 teaspoons, so that's perfectly fine. I've also taken 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 4 tablespoons of very cold water, whisked it together in this little bowl to make a slurry to thicken the sauce. So I'm gonna actually whisk this together really good, this sauce, and then I'm gonna add it to our stir fry, and I will be back. Okay guys, so what I've done is I added my sauce into the vegetable mixture, and then I added my slurry. You can also use flour for your slurry if you don't have cornstarch, but if you're gluten-free, you're going to want to use your cornstarch for it. And then I re-added, after a few minutes, my ground chicken. I'll show you. It smells amazing. Now, if you don't have ground chicken, you can also use some delicious ground turkey. You want to use the lean variety. You can use ground pork, even ground beef. You just want to make sure when you brown your meat that you drain it, because you don't want your stir fry to get all fatty, right? And you can use any rice to serve this over. Any rice would be fine. Brown rice, white rice. I wouldn't use wild rice, obviously, but that's more of like a mix. Jasmine, basmati. Be really good with basmati. And you can also put some sesame seeds over the top. So I'm just going to cook this and get it combined for a few more minutes, and then we're going to serve it up. Okay guys, so Matt is going to taste test the ground chicken stir fry.
We're going to try veggie first.
I know it's hot, sorry.
One cauliflower, right?
Yep. He just got glasses. Doesn't he look handsome?
I'll try the meat. That was no meat.
Come into the frame, Matt. You okay? He doesn't want to talk with his mouth full. But I'm assuming since he didn't spit it out that it's palatable.
Oh no, that's disgusting.
So disgusting you're actually going to eat the whole plate?
Yeah.
So what do you give it out of 10?
An 8.5.
Okay. So
Hungered.
there you have it, guys. An easy, budget-friendly, delicious weeknight dinner. It's healthy, tasty.
Try the rice. Hot.
So what do we want everybody to do? Got to stay in the frame, though.
Like, comment, share.
And most importantly,
subscribe.
Yay! And what are we doing from New Jersey?
Spreading love.
Sending love from New Jersey. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye!